It's not the first time it's happened, and it certainly won't be the last, but if you're watching this right now, it's already past the submission times for the Guess the Banzuke, and I gotta say, it has been very hard to find the time to get an hour by myself to do the Guess the Banzuke, but now we're finally going to get around to it. Now, it's not going to be submitted to the leaderboards or anything, but I still wanted to get it done so I could at least see how many points I've gotten. And like I said, it's not the first time I forgot to submit. It won't be the last time I forgot to submit, but I'm sure all of you have already done your Guess the Banzukes, and if you didn't, well, that's okay. You're not the only one that forgot. But welcome, everybody. It has been a very fun and stressful month now that the baby is here, and that is my excuse as to why I wasn't able to get this GTB done, but we'll just get right to it. Let's jump right in, and we already I'm going to, everyone with a winning record is going to be highlighted in green, everyone with a losing record is going to be highlighted in red, so let me just get to that right away. And I gotta say, even though we have been pretty busy, I have been, trying to stream, trying to make other videos. It has been a little rough in terms of the scheduling, because, at the beginning, it was easy. Like, oh, the baby is awake until 5 a.m. and he wakes up every 2 hours, so I can hold him while I stream the sumo, but then he switches the schedule on us, and then he switches the schedule on us, and he just keeps changing things around on us, so it's been pretty difficult to keep up with. Now, as far as who is going to be dropping to Judio, I think we'll start at the bottom. We will obviously have Nishiki Fuji and Chiyoshoma. Asanoyama as well, so that is 4 Judio demotions right off the rip. And Ono Show, I think, is also likely, but we'll see. That means we need at least 3 Judio promotions. Ono Katsu, Shirokuma, and they're really, like, maybe Kitanawaka? So you might even be able to hear the baby crying right now. But as far as the Judio promotion goes, maybe Onokatsu, Kitanawaka, and Shirokuma. I'm not too sure what we're going to do with these guys just yet, but they seem to be the closest in proximity to a possible promotion. Tamashoho is a little too low. Shishi, I think, is a little too low as well. And that also brings up the question of, if these guys move up, does that save Ono Show? And if Ono Show moves down, who gets pushed up? Like Tamashoho with a 9 and 6 from Judio 6 when everybody else lost? I feel like it's going to be more likely that Ono Show gets saved, but we'll see. I'm just going to put these guys at the bottom for now, and then once we work out the math from the top, we will see. So, first things first, we have Teruno Fuji, Koto Zakura, and Ho Shoryu all sitting at Ozeki. Now, we will remove the Ozeki rank, scooch everybody up 1, and that will reopen up Maegashira 17 West. So instead of having only Onokatsu at Maegashira 17 East, we will also have a West. Takakeisho will be moving down to Sekiwake. Then we have Abi, Onosato, and Kirishima. I don't remember if Onosato leapfrogs Abi or not, but Kirishima will definitely stay the same spot. Takakeisho definitely moves down here. And then we have Hirado Umi with 10 wins. I think he definitely does leapfrog Daisho. And Daisho, even though he had a winning record, moves down half of a rank. Now, I do have to double check that and confirm it, but this is basically what the Sanyaku is going to look like, because it's one of those rare instances where everyone in the Sanyaku had a winning record. So that's something that's really cool that you don't see too often, and that usually goes to show that the Sanyaku ranks, the top guys, are strong right now. But when you see those winning records, 8-7, 8-7, 8-7, 9-6, 9-6. Like, it's not that strong. There are also rumors I've not seen anything substantiated about it, but I have seen rumors that Takakesho, if he does not make it back to Ozeki, he will retire, which in my opinion is probably what's best for him because of all those injuries, because of everything that's been going on with his body. It might just be better for him to retire, but that's a different story entirely. So Meisei, 4 and 11, technically moves down 7 ranks. Probably won't move down that far, so I'll put him down to Maegashira 6 right now. And then, again, we have a lot of losers right here at the top, and not really anyone to push them down. So what I think is going to happen, Takanosho will move up to Maegashira 1. Tobizaru moves up to Maegashira 1 again. And then Atami Fuji with his 7 and 8 will move down. Wakamoto Haru will move down maybe 1 rank. And then we have Mitakeumi 7 and 8 stays at his rank because there's really nobody else that can push him down. Maybe Oho can leapfrog, but I just don't really see that happening. That being said, Oho moving up to Maegashira 3 after a 9 and 6 from Maegashira 6 works out mathematically pretty perfectly. And then let's see. Maegashira 4, we have Tobizaru already moved him up. Uda is definitely going to move down. Onosho is going to be near the bottom. It's just a matter of how far down will he go. I'm going to keep him off to the side for now. Shonan no Umi, 7 and 8. He can definitely stay at that rank too, because then we do have Koto Shoho can move up to Maegashira 4. We do have Shodai that can easily move up to Maegashira 4 as well. Then I think it's a question of, I think what we can do with these guys that had 6 and 9 records, or even Shonan no Umi's 7 and 8, he's not going to move up. But we can lessen the fall of someone like Meisei. Meisei, a 4 and 11 from Maegashira 1. Usually they're not that harsh on the guys that have losing records from the Sanyaku ranks, from the Makuchi Joy. So let's look at 4 and 11, and let's see, Maegashira 4 has happened a handful of times, Maegashira 5, Maegashira 6, so it's not out of the realm of possibility that he could fall to only Maegashira 6 with that horrible record. The last time it happened was back in May of 2022 with Uda, who is still on the Banzuke, fell to Maegashira 6, went 9 and 6. Even before that, Onosho had a Maegashira 5, Maegashira 6, Maegashira 6. All of these examples being within the past 5, 6, 7 years. You can see it doesn't happen too often, but I am comfortable leaving Meisei at Maegashira 5. Whoops, that was a copy, not a cut. That means Uda, instead of falling 2 full ranks, can fall a rank and a half down to Maegashira 6 East. And then the rest of these guys that still have to move up are going to move up more appropriately. Midori Fuji, Ichi Yamamoto, Churano Umi is definitely going to leapfrog the both of them. We might even have Oshoma stay in the same spot. Then we have the likes of Sarano Umi, 5 and 10 from Maegashira 7. Let's put him down here around Maegashira 12. Keen Bozan is going to be much lower than that. Ryuden is probably going to be much lower than that. Oshoma at Maegashira 9 could realistically stay there alongside Tamawashi, because then we already moved up Shodai. We have Midori Fuji, he can easily move up. Ichi Yamamoto can easily move up. Churano Umi leapfrogs the both of them. And then just a few ranks lower, Wakataka Kage and Endo. Honestly, I think mathematically, they could also leapfrog Midori Fuji and Ichi Yamamoto, moving up 2 ranks for an 8 and 7, respectively. That seems pretty fair. Like, this is kind of working itself out right now. Thankfully, with Oshoma and Tamawashi sitting at that Maegashira 9 spot with those 7 and 8 records, it's looking like they will stay there and kind of be the anchor in the middle of this Banzuke and make it look more appropriate like this. Let's see. We also had Nishikigi moving down. There's going to be a big traffic jam at the bottom down here. Hokuto Fuji moving down. Takada Fuji moving possibly down and off the Banzuke. Then we have Wakataka Kage, Endo. Chiyoshoma, we already have him being demoted. Roga moving up to, I guess, Maegashira 10. Kageaki moving up to Maegashira 10, Bushozan right underneath him, and then Nishiki Fuji. So we have a really weird bottom here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 guys hanging off, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 open slots. So I may have missed a couple of guys. But just looking at it, it looks like the bottom is going to be the most complicated because we have Hokuto Fuji. He has to move down with a 6 and 9. He can't stay at the same rank. He could realistically only move down 1 rank, so maybe putting him down that low is a little harsh. Sada no Umi, 5 and 10 from Maegashira 7. He could comfortably slot in right here at Maegashira 11. And this is kind of where we have to fill out, like, who are those last 2 slots? Who am I missing? Did I already make a mistake? Atami Fuji, Mitake Umi, Takayasu. I forgot about Takayasu. Takayasu is going to be moving way down with 0 wins. Again, don't really know where he's going to be on the Banzuke. And I think I accidentally skipped Gonoyama too. So 5 and 10, probably moving down around Maegashira 7 and 8. And what we can do is just kind of scooch everybody down a half of a rank. So Sada no Umi moves over here. Busho's on right here. And although it's not very clean to do it this way, Gonoyama, again, Maegashira 3, 5 and 10. They're not going to push him down too far. Let's 5 and 10. Let's check the Banzuke query, see where they usually fall. I see a lot of Maegashira 7, Maegashira 6, a couple of Maegashira 8s. The most recent results, 8, 6, 7, 6, 8. Even a Maegashira 5 for Takara Fuji back in July of 2020. So Gonoyama falling to Maegashira 9, a little out of the question, I think. But Ichi Yamamoto and Midori Fuji moving over. I think slotting Gonoyama in here and having Wakataka Kage and Endo leapfrog him, that might be a 50-50. Does an 11 and 4 from Maegashira 4 jump over a 5 and 10 from Maegashira 3? And I think that is one of the first questions we'll have here. Gono over Waka and Waka. I keep accidentally backspacing. Waka and Endo? Question mark? Because everything above that, I think, works out fine. Because Chura no Umi has to be, I think, above Wakataka Kage and Endo. And Uda, 6 and 9, he's not going to fall that far. He's not going to fall to, like, Maegashira 7 off of a 6 and 9 from Maegashira 4. Everything above Uda, I think, is where it's going to fall. And then between Chura no Umi and Sada no Umi is where it gets a little complicated. But again, it works out right now. This is just a first pass through. And, you know, because I am late in submitting my Guess the Banzuke, I'll be able to compare it to other people's Banzuke guesses. And even though we're not going to be going for any kinds of prizes or anything, well, not that I don't think the Guess the Banzuke has any prizes, but once again, I'm not going to get the points on that, and it is a little annoying. I might be able to email the people that run it and try to get my submission in late. I don't know, but the boon here is that I will be able to compare it to other people's guesses. So let's keep on guessing. The bottom of this Banzuke is going to be difficult to suss out, I think. Because there are a lot of guys that definitely deserve to fall, but there are not enough guys on the come up. Like if Toki Ayate got us 8 and 7, easy. If Dayamami got an 8 and 7, an argument could be made. Kitano Waka kind of moves up, maybe, probably he's the next one in line. Tama Shoho, if he had one more win, you could make an argument. But everyone else around here, Asakori I'm still very disappointed with. He started off strong in that tournament. Shimano Umi, I think, is a little too low. Shishi, with his 11 and 4, that's a +7 up to Judio 3. I think that's a little too low. But then again, Onosho, with 0 wins from Maegashira 5, mathematically should fall down to Judio 2, Judio 3 anyway. But it's really hard to say, honestly. It's not going to be very possible to check a 0 and 15 record, but let's try. He was Maegashira 5 with 0 wins. Let's see the last time that's happened, at least, because we're going to get a lot of like Banzuke from the 1700s where it goes 008, 0010. But the last time this happened, it's actually happened a lot within the past 20 years. Usually they will fall down to Judeo. But again, this begs the question, does that push up Tama Shoho? I guess, maybe? Does that push up Shishi? No, maybe? Like, if Onosho falls off, who is next in line? Because Shimano Umi in 8 and 7 is not going to do it for him. Tama Shoho in 9 and 6, I don't know. Nishiki Fuji has to fall. Chiyoshoma has to fall. Asanoyama has to fall. Onosho mathematically should also fall. It looks like there were a couple of Basho in the 90s where 0015, and it looks like they took the oh no, that must have been the system where they could take a Basho off and not lose rank. So this doesn't help us at all. Anything before that doesn't help us at all. So really the only records we can look at say he's supposed to fall to Judeo. But with the way things are shaking out, I don't actually know if he will. Maybe he'll occupy the last spot on this Banzuke, but then you also have you also have Takeda Fuji, who sits at Maegashira, what was it? Maegashira 13 with a 5 and 10 record. Like, oops, hit the wrong button there. Let's see. Takeda Fuji, a 5 and 10 record, more often than not falls to Judeo, but again, there's nobody to keep him, or there's nobody to replace him really, unless they really want to upgrade Tama Shoho, in which case Onosho would be the first one to fall off. And Shishi, maybe? Like, nah, I don't think there's a way. I don't think there's a way. A Judeo 10 with an 11 and 4? Has that ever happened before that they got promoted? Once in 1939. So I think what's more likely to happen here is that Takeda Fuji and Onosho will occupy the last spots on this Banzuke and everyone else will move up. Let's see, Hokuto Fuji has to move down, so we could probably just put him at Maegashira 14. Keen Bolzan also has to move down, and let's see, he could be above Hokuto Fuji, but a 4 and 11 from Maegashira 8. Let's see, it hasn't happened too many times, but usually they fall to Maegashira 15, 15, 14, handful of 13s in there as well. So, you know, 13 is not the median, but it is close to the median. Definitely not the mean either, but I think Keen Bolzan could fall to Maegashira 13. Or maybe Hokuto Fuji and Keen Bolzan fall, and we have Onokatsu get way over promoted to Maegashira 12? Because I feel like, let's just pull these guys off to the side for a second. I feel like the bottom of the Banzuke has to be Onosho and Takeda Fuji. There's no arguing that. Ryuden with a 3 and 12 from Maegashira 8 is definitely going to be below Keen Bolzan. And this hasn't happened too many times in history either. He has to be below Keen Bolzan, so he could be Maegashira 15, Maegashira 16. Nishikigi, a 5 and 10 from Maegashira 11. Let's see. Oops, 5 and 10 from M11. Anywhere between 13 and Judeo. So Maegashira 15 looks like it's the mean again. Takayasu 0 wins from Maegashira 3. I think it's likely they keep him up here somewhere. But this is where it gets pretty difficult to suss things out. Like Nishikigi, it has to be, no, he doesn't have to be above Ryuden, so I think Ryuden can be above Nishikigi. This bottom of the Banzuke here is definitely difficult to try to place. And it looks like we're missing someone too, which that always happens. Takara Fuji, Ono Sho, Kageaki we have up there, Busho's on. Roga, Endo, Wakataka Kage. Chiyoshoma falls, Hokuto Fuji stays on, Takara Fuji stays on by the skin of his teeth. Asanoyama falls, Churano Umi went up. Nishikigi stays in, but barely, maybe down here. Maegashira 16. Ichiyamamoto went up. Midori Fuji and Shodai go up. Tamawashi fell down. Oshoma fell down. Kinbozan fell down. Ryuden fell down. And I think, yeah, Ryuden has to be below Kinbozan. I don't know if he's below Hokuto Fuji. Onosho has to move down. Takayasu has to move down. Gonoyama, I already have him in Maegashira 8. But yeah, I think I'm missing somebody here. But again, this is just really difficult to place because we have 3 people fall off, 3 people come up, when realistically, like mathematically, 5 people should be falling off, but there just isn't anyone really to fill those shoes. Shishi is way too far away to get the promotion, as is, you know, Shiden, Shimano Umi. Kitano Waka barely makes it up. Like, this would have been so much easier if Toki Hayate won one more match, you know? But, I think Onokatsu will be above Shirokuma, and Shirokuma will be above Kitano Waka. That's definitely how it's going to go. Shirokuma a 12-3 over Kitano Waka's 8-7. It's just a matter of actually putting them somewhere here on the Banzuke, which, give me 1 second as I try to figure out who I'm missing here. Let's see, Nishiki Fuji fell, Kageaki Pushozan went up, Roga went up, Chiyoshoma fell, Wakataka and Endo went up, Hokuto Fuji didn't go down too far, Takara Fuji is at the bottom here, Churano Umi went up, Ichi, Midori, Shodai all went up, Shodai, Ichi, Midori. Oshoma and Tamawashi only fall a half of a rank each. Let's see, Ryuden and Kinbozan fall down here. Kinbozan, Ryuden. Sadano Umi also falls down here, not too far though. Goto Shoho, I have him moving up. A little too far maybe. Takanosho, Oho, Onosho, and Shonano Umi. Shonano Umi stays. Onosho falls all the way down. Uda falls a little bit. Tobizaru moves up. Takayasu moves all the way down. Right there. Gonoyama, we already had that question. Does he stay above Waka and Endo or not? Not too sure. Wakamoto Harumi, Takeyumi are right next to each other. Atami Fuji fell. I'm not missing Meisei. But then the rest of the top here fills out properly. Oh, you know what? I'm stupid. There is no Maegashira 17 West because we still have Teruno Fuji. I'm the stupid one. What else is new? So let's scooch everybody over a little bit. And then we have Onokatsu, Shirokuma, and Kitano Waka. I'm the stupid one, guys. And even then, Kitano Waka, it's going to be difficult to put him above Takara Fuji, Nishikigi, Onosho. So I think at this point, I will start pulling up other people's guesses and comparing. So let me see. Here's 2 different guesses. There were a couple more on Twitter that I did not hold on to. It looks like the chat here doesn't go too quickly. So let me try to pull up a few more on Twitter. Let's see. LeoDSumo news. I think they did it too. Because it's one of those things where I see it on Twitter, but then I can never find it again. And it's really annoying. Nope, not here. Well, either way, we can at least still compare to these two other guesses that we have. And it is kind of weird that there aren't more guesses in the LeoDSumo Discord, but this is still something we can look at. So this guy has, Tenno no Fuji, Kotozaka, Hoshoryu, Onosato, leapfrogging Abi, because he has the stronger record, Hirada Umi doing the same, Takanosho Tobizaru, and Atami Fuji. He has Oho leapfrogging Mitake Umi, which I think it's 50-50 whether or not Mitake Umi falls down or not. But he also has Oho above Wakamoto Haru, even Shodai above Wakamoto Haru, which I think Shodai, if anything, can leapfrog Koto Shoho, sure. I think Shodai could be above Koto Shoho, but not above Oho. Oho did have a slightly weaker record from 4 ranks above Shodai, so I think Oho will stay above Shodai. And then Koto Shoho to Maegashira 4, that's where I have him. Then he has Wakataka, Shonna, Chura, Ura. Whereas I have, I'm very light on the Meisei fall. He is promoting Wakataka Kage very high from Maegashira 14, which is possible. I believe that could be possible. Ura falling to Maegashira 6 West, again, I think could be possible too. I can definitely see why they're doing it that way. But I have Shonna no Umi, Ura, Chura no Umi. They have Chura no Umi at Maegashira 6 on the other side over Ura, which, again, I think that's another coin flip there. Maegashira 4 falling with a 6 and 9, being below a Maegashira 12 with a 10 and 5. I'm not sure who they would give the nod to there. So, Ura, Chura, coin flip. Let's see, Gono, and then after that, Maegashira 7. They have Meisei and Gonoyama falling to Maegashira 7. That's not a bad place to put them, but I'm not doing that personally because I feel like putting maybe Wakataka Kage all the way up to Maegashira 5 isn't that far out of the realm of possibility. But I'm just gonna keep it like this for now, and then after seeing the next one, I'll figure it out. Then they have Endo at Maegashira 14, not next to Wakataka Kage, so maybe I could put Gonoyama in between them with his 5 and 10. Endo, one less win from the same record, would realistically lag a little bit behind Wakataka Kage. And then Midori Fuji, we have them at the same spot at Maegashira 8. Ichi Yamamoto at 9. Oshoma at 9 again. Then Tamawashi Roga, Kageaki. I have him, he has Sada no Umi not falling as far as I have Sada no Umi falling, which honestly makes sense. You very rarely do they actually fall the full 5 ranks with that kind of a losing record. So I think Sada no Umi above Kageaki here. Kageaki only having a 9 and 6, Bushozan only an 8 and 7. I feel like this is appropriate. You could probably make an argument for Takeyasu over Bushozan as well. Let's see. Then they have Kinbozan, Onokatsu, Shirokuma. I have Takeyasu above those guys. Takeyasu could realistically fall a bit further. I don't want to put Onokatsu too high, and I don't want to put Shirokuma too high, though. So I think realistically the only person I could put there is Kinbozan, but he had a 4 and 11 from Maegashira 8, falling 4 ranks. Seems a little light on him, but they don't usually over promote these Judio guys when they come up initially. So if anything, Takeyasu and Hokuto Fuji, like Hokuto Fuji could fall a half of a rank off of his 6 and 9. That's not too far out of the realm of possibility. But we could also do something like this, where Takeyasu is above Onokatsu and Shirokuma, Hokuto Fuji to Maegashira 14, which actually we could do something like this, where Hokuto Fuji only falls 1 rank, and Shirokuma moves up to Maegashira 14 West, something like that. At this point, it's literally just splitting hairs, you know? And then they also have Kitanowaka coming up over Nishikigi, it looks like? No. Oh, wait, no, I have Kitanowaka, duh. So yeah, it's this bottom of the Banzuke where Judio come up, injury guys fall down. That's usually just really splitting hairs. It's like you could make an argument either way for any of these guys falling in any of these spots. So it's really hard to say, and that's the luck factor of the Guess the Banzuke. So now this guy, let's see, the top of the Banzuke is going to be the same for everybody, let's be real. Takanosho Tobizaru, Atami Fuji, Mitakeumi. They have Wakamoto Haru and Oho swapping spots compared to me. I'm going to keep them where they are. Then they have Shodai and Koto Shoho next to each other, like I just put them. I did just shift them around a little bit. They have Meisei falling to Maegashira 7. I only have Meisei at Maegashira 5, Shonana Umi Ura, whereas they have Shonana Umi Ura and Wakataka Kage all the way up to Maegashira 5 instead of Meisei. Which, again, there is an argument to be made there. And let's see. The fact that two people have done that. Whoopsies. The fact that two other people have done that, I think I'm inclined to copy some homework. Let's push Meisei down a little bit and Wakataka Kage up to Maegashira 5. There is also, you know, the intangible factor, like, oh, they want Wakataka Kage to move back up because he was a fan favorite. You know, that I don't know how much influence there is in that kind of decision making, but that is a very real possibility as well. Then Ura, or Shonana Umi and Ura, Churana Umi, Meisei. Then they have Gonoyama over Endo, whereas I have Endo over Gonoyama. And again, that could be another coin flip. Gono over Endo, like that. Because Gonoyama falling with a 5 and 10, Maegashira 3. Maegashira 8 is already, you know, 4.5 ranks. And like I mentioned earlier, they generally are lighter on those guys falling from Maegashira 3, Maegashira 2, Maegashira 1. That's why Meisei isn't falling too far with his horrible record, although I did just shift him down a little bit further. Endo over Gonoyama. Endo, you could say moving up 7 ranks with only a +5 is a little But Gonoyama, I actually agree with this. Endo over or below Gonoyama here. I think it makes a little bit more sense. You could say I'm copying his homework, but I only switched like 2 things around. And it doesn't matter either way because I'm not getting any points for this because I didn't submit it to the actual game in time. Then we have Ichiyamamoto Oshoma. They have Ichiyamamoto Oshoma, Tamawashi Sarana Umi. I have Tamawashi Roga, whereas they have Roga below Sarana Umi. And that's a situation where do they give the nod to the winner or do they bump down the loser? Which already, again, I can see the argument either way for it. And, you know, another coin flip, honestly. Roga, Sara, coin flip. Like, there are a couple of coin flips already that we're going for, but this one and the Gonoyama one, like, that's the difference between 4 points and 0 points. Because if it's something like the Ura and Churana Umi on Guess the Banzuke, if you get the bullseye, if you get it right exactly, that's 2 points. But if you get it the right rank but the wrong side, that's 1 point. So Ura, Churana Umi, that's the difference between 4 points and 2 points. You could live with 2 points compared to 4. But something like Gonoyama Endo and Roga Sarana Umi, that's the difference between 4 points and 0 points. So you really gotta hope you get that coin flip right. I'm gonna stick with my guns on that one. Then we have Kageaki, they have Kageaki. I have Bushozan over Keen Bolzan, but then again, that's another coin flip, really. You could make an argument Bushozan with an 8 and 7 shouldn't come up this high anyway. Keen Bolzan with a 4 and 11. Honestly, I think Keen Bolzan with a 4 and 11 should be going further down the Banzuke, but because of the way things are falling with so many Judio guys not really making the cut, Kinbozan kind of gets saved there. So I'm confident in keeping Kinbozan below Bushozan. Then we have Takayasu, Onokatsu, Hokuto Fuji, Shirokuma. They have Onokatsu and Shirokuma next to each other. They have Takayasu falling all the way to Maegashira 13. You know, that kind of makes sense. They have Kitano Waka below Onosho, Takayasu, Takeda Fuji, and Ryuden. Maybe I should be harder on Ryuden? Or maybe I should kind of keep it consistent like that, where all of those big losers are next to each other. But then again, you know, the guys who make the Banzuke, they do a lot of weird stuff too. So I'm confident keeping Shirokuma and Onokatsu where they are. Hokuto Fuji staying at Maegashira 14. I feel like that's appropriate. But the real question is, again, Takayasu, you know, these injured guys, Onosho, realistically, they should be falling off into Judio, but they're not because Judio did not step up. So Takayasu falling to Maegashira 13. Again, fan favorite. They don't want to see him fall down to that Judio division. They want to see him move back up. But, I mean, you can't really factor that into the math. So the bottom here, everything about the bottom, everything from Maegashira 13 to 17 is a cluster truck. And 13 to 17 is a cluster. Who knows? So I feel like you could put these guys in any kind of lineup, like Kitanowaka Maegashira 17. You could make an argument for Kitanowaka Maegashira 14 with Takayasu below Hokuto Fuji, Onokatsu and Shirokuma at Maegashira 13. And everyone else below that. You could make an argument for Kitanowaka at Maegashira 16 above Takeda Fuji and Onosho, but below Nishikigi. Like, there's so many different things you can do here, and a lot of it is just like, you know, the guys making this Banzuke, you gotta wonder how many times they just go, screw it, put him here. Screw it, put him there. Screw it, put him here. Because you could be very fair and make arguments for pretty much everything else on the Banzuke in most other Banzuke that we do. I mean, we've been playing the Banzuke game since September 2020, 4 years now. And let's be real, I've only probably submitted for half of them. But a lot of times you can make the argument for why you put someone here. Whereas in this situation, pretty much everything below Kinbozan is just throw your hands up and, like, you know, put little pieces of paper with their names on it, throw it out onto the Banzuke, and wherever their names physically fall is where you write them down. But as far as it goes, again, we're not going to be submitting because because we've already missed the deadline. Oh, our connection's not private. Oh no. I guess the Banzuke website is not safe. We've already missed the deadline. Whoopsie daisies. But, you know, it's nice to see that more and more people are playing. And I like to think that I am a small influence on that. You know, more and more people playing with me making these videos. And hopefully not too many people forgot to play this time around. But at least I had an excuse. We had a baby. But, yeah, honestly, I think this is fine. I'm gonna send in an email to see if they will still accept my submissions late. If they do, that's great. If they don't, it's whatever, you know? I've accidentally not played so many times that it's not like I'm winning or losing anything from it anyway. It's just the matter of having my name up on this list. Like, how I am the reigning champion of Kachi Clash, and it's really nice to have my name at the top of that. It would be nice to have my name really up high here too, for that brand recognition, for the ability to be like, yeah, look at that, I'm #1 on Guess the Banzuke, so that means you should watch my streams. And for those of you that don't usually watch my streams, you should watch my streams. And I'm probably going to make a post about this too, but by the time this video goes up, let me just double check. Yes, we do not have any more copyright strikes. We are completely free of copyright strikes on the main sumo channel. So there should be no running away to backup channels in September, and we should be able to have the entirety of the Basho here on Leo Dickinson Sumo. So look forward to that, as well as looking forward to a new sponsorship from Rogue Energy Drinks. Now, I know a lot of you probably don't really mess with the energy drinks, but honestly, for me, they're really good. I will make a proper commercial for it later, but in the description down below, if you use my affiliate link and discount code LEOD at checkout, you will get 20% off of your Rogue Energy order, and it's only with the affiliate link that I get commission. So if you use my discount code, that's not where I get the commission. You have to use the link that is down in the description below. But that's enough shilling of myself. I am pretty confident with this Banzuke. It's not the most complicated Banzuke we've ever had. And, because most of the time these videos take a full hour and it's only been 40 minutes. And that's mostly because the top of the Banzuke fell so cleanly with everything in the Sanyaku. And, again, you just throw your hands up for the bottom of the Banzuke here. You just wherever it falls, So that'll be it from us for today. We will be back with some live sumo. Not this coming weekend, not the next weekend, but the weekend after. September 7th is, oh wait, no. Or is it the 14th? I don't even remember my own sumo schedule, let's be real. But it's coming up soon. The Banzuke is going to be coming out soon, and in September is when we are going to start enjoying the sumo once more. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll put in the description of the video when the tournament actually starts, so I don't have people commenting, because I got a lot of people commenting when's the next sumo tournament, and so I'll try to do my due diligence and let you guys know when that is happening. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys got your Guess the Banzuke guesses in, and yeah, we'll see you soon.